1, 2, intro, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Intro. Verse 1. Vamp. Turnaround. Verse 2. Drums in. Pre-chorus. Slowly build. Build. Chorus. Breakdown. Post-chorus. Turnaround. Drums in. Verse 3. Pre-chorus. Build. Chorus. All in. Post-chorus. Vamp. Breakdown. Bridge. 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 Slowly build. Bridge. Build. Chorus. Break. All in. Post-chorus.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to go through the song Throne Room by Charity Gale. Beautiful, beautiful song. I know there's a bunch of tutorials out there, but I know some of you are looking for a really accurate tutorial, especially on that end part. There's sort of a mystery guitar part that's in there that I'll show you in a little bit. But one note on this one. So I did the, when I did the intro, I pretty much did it note for note, almost exactly what the guy did who was playing it. But I will say when I listened to it, it had this like, I don't know, a feeling of freedom in it where he was just doing stuff. So it wasn't all like composed guitar parts, it felt like to me. He was just feeling and sensing things at the moment, which, I love being in situations like that. It's really fun to be able to play and just sort of feel where the music's taking you, where the spirit's leading. So when you do this, I'd say this is one of those songs you might want to, make it your own a little bit. Maybe there's some parts that you really nail exactly, but you don't have to do the stuff exactly the way that I'm doing it. In general. But let me talk through first sounds. These sounds are gigantic on this thing. One note, it sounds to me like he has some sort of AC30-ish type of amp with pedals in front of it, and you can always tell there's a certain specific sound when you put the delays in front of an amplifier rather than an effects loop or like in a Kemper or something on the back end. I personally like the delays normally on the back end of an amplifier, delays and reverbs, any sort of time-based stuff. But sometimes it sounds really great going into the front of an amplifier like, the Edge or somebody like that would do. So that's what it sounds like to me. I don't know what, I don't even know the guitar player on there, but he sounds fantastic. But that's what it sounds like to me. All right, couple of notes on this. I just happen to be using this guitar just because it was the guitar that was here and I needed a whammy bar on it. Sound-wise though, let me take stuff off. So I have a pretty big verb. Just a little bit of crunch. Actually, that's not a little bit of crunch. That's a fair amount of crunch. Sort of a green screen sounding thing. I'm in my neck pickup, and then I've got a heavy delay. You can hear that delay on there. So, incidentally, when you're picking out delays, try to hear the ends of phrases. So if a guy does, you'll hear it in those spots. Whereas if you're you can never really hear the delays all that well unless they're really pronounced. All right, so we're going to start off with a line. I'm playing it in the key of G. The original was in the key of A flat. He's probably capoed. I'm certain he was capoed because he has some voicings that would be very difficult if he wasn't capoed. So I'm going to call the notes out of the key of G, but if they're playing in A flat, then just capo up a fret. So I'm going to do E, B, A, B, open D. F sharp, and I'm going to do F sharp, G, F sharp, open D, E, and that's your first line. I play it nice and gentle. It might even be like a P90-ish type of pickup or something, so it might have a little bit less bite than what I even have there. All right, then we go into some volume swells. G chord open. C chord and G chord. Maybe I won't go through all of these parts. They're really specific. If you want the real specifics, just go through that tutorial up front. The pre-chorus. So when he gets into the verse, actually, the second time after, this is kind of interesting what he does. He's playing with a pick. But he just takes the back of his nail, whatever nail it is, maybe moves the pick and folds it in like this, or maybe he just uses his middle finger. But you can hear him like just making these like brushings with the back of his fingernail. So instead of, you can hear that wispy sort of like far away feel, which is really beautiful, very subtle. And again, he's responding, listening to what's going on around him. on the beginning part, he does for all of the chords E minor, C chord, G chord, D chord, and then sometimes he'll put on that D chord, that note, but basically he's keeping stuff ringing as much as he can. So if I put the basses in there, and don't play it that way, by the way, but you can hear just through that whole section. All right, you get the idea on that. That takes us back into the line, repeats that same thing. Then on the second pre-chorus, when we go through, he does this. So he does like G, G, D, which this is like a country trick, playing the open strings. Then back to the G. So I do G, D, oh sorry, G, G, D, E, D, and then now when you do that, if you have fat fingers, this is hard to do. So you've got to play the open notes along with that fretted note. If you look at the side of my hand though, I'm not like lazy about how I'm playing this, and I'm being really careful not to do that or that. I have my finger like dead center, so you might have to like move your hand around a little bit, play with your thumb a little bit to see what allows you to get those notes all together. So he builds it through here, and then he's going to go to the bridge pickup, and he's going to put on an additional distortion, and he's going to go into a line. So it's like G, G, G. So I'm doing like D string, G string, D string. It's so hard to hear with all this goop on it. And then he does like a 4 against 3. So if I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, on that D chord, back to. I know this is hard to tell even where I'm at, and this is pre-chorus. And then he goes back into the. And again, I'm just doing the notes G, D, G on this. Okay. I know that's super confusing because like it's all blurred together and he's not really like hitting all the chord changes, but that's sort of what makes the beauty of this thing. And again, if you want the note for note, just grab what I'm doing on the front. Okay, let me see if I can get to the next section so it'll start to make sense to you. I do some volume swells on the bridge pickups. I'm back in my neck pickup. B minor 7, B, D, and A. C. And then he picks through the G. All right, now this is the part that's the mystery part that a lot of people were. This is probably what you sat through this whole thing to learn. I'm going to start off, I'm playing out of my C form of the G major pentatonic. Or you might know this as like an E minor form. So here's your regular pentatonic. Here's this alternate form. Okay, so he starts off with this. Oh, and he's muting. So not open, but and when you do that, you want to do it with more wrist than elbow. Then he goes into this line: A, B, D, E, G, A, B. So C, B, and then back to, and then, so that's A, B, D, E, G, 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 F sharp, E, D, and then A, B, D, E. Then he goes into the bridge pickup, and he opens up, so he's no longer staccato or muted, but he's open. Same thing, same as the first time. C, then he goes down to the low E, but it's sort of weird because he goes E, F sharp. Back up to. Okay, let me do that last one again. So E, F sharp. I'll call frets 7, 9, 7, 9, 7, 9, 8, 7, 9, 7, 9, 7. Break. Down. Then he's up in these high triads, D chord, E minor, C, G, D, C, and it's a G triad over a C chord, which is sort of a nice sound, D chord, E minor, line. So it's just out of the major scale. D, C, B, A, G. C chord. C, which again, like a G, D chord, E minor, which is like a C, G chord. Then he's going to go into this line, G, D. He's using whammy bar, A, D. Then 4 against 3, B, A, G, F sharp. I'm not sure how you want to finger that, but B, A, G, F sharp, E. Maybe straight down that one. D, B, A, G. That takes us into C chord again, but it's like a G triad. D. Then he's going to go back into that little pentatonic line. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and that line goes like this. G, A, B, A, G, C, D, B, A, B, D, E, G, A. Then it goes C, B, A, G, and then D, C, B, A, G, E, D, E. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry. There we go. And then back to the E minor, which is like a G shape. C, G. All right. I know that was hard to discern your way through, especially on those like the verses and stuff where there's not lines. And I know you probably mostly wanted to see the line. So hopefully that helped you out a little bit. And if you have any questions, be sure to put them below and I'll try to get to those. So until next time, God bless.